Hey guys, welcome. So today we are going to get into Module 11, which is a communication skill that is known as D.E.A.R.M.A.N. So each letter set stands for something different. So D.E.A.R.M.A.N is a DBT skill, and the skill helps improve communication by enabling the user of the skill to be more assertive in their communication. This easy to remember acronym breaks down a way to express your wants, needs to others with respect to yourself and them. This increases the chances of positive outcomes coming from your communication, right? So communicating is pretty much all of life, whether we're doing nonverbal communication. I do this all the time. I use my hands. My eyebrows go up like when people tell me something and I'm shocked. So non-verbally, we're always communicating. And then we have other types of verbal communication. So getting into this acronym, the first letter, and we're going to go through it. So D is for describe, E is for express, A is for assert, R is for reinforce, M is for mindful, A is for appear, and N is for negotiate. Right, so when we're looking at describe, we want to describe the situation, but only using the facts. We want to take an objective lens on the situation. So this means no opinions or perspectives. Just get everyone on the same page by identifying the facts. So this also means no implied negative terms, either like again or always. So we're not going to bring people's past into it or other prior things that kind of have occurred, right? So what we're going to do next is we go into the E. So we're going to go into express, right? So after you're laying out the facts without judgment, so how do we do this? We say third-party perspective. I'm going to take this back seat and say, all right, what are the facts of the situation? And we're going to go into an example after this. So then we have E for express. So express is you're going to be expressing your feelings clearly. This normally looks like I statements, right? So this may mean taking a few moments or days after a situation has occurred to kind of figure out how exactly you feel about the situation. Don't expect people to read your mind either. This is a big thing that we do because I feel this way or I experience it this way. This is how it is. A lot of individuals I know will do things for others expecting that they know that this is what they would also want back, but that's not communicated. So if a certain person loves giving gifts on birthdays and they do this really amazing job, that does not indicate that they like receiving gifts on birthdays, right? All it does is say that they really like gift giving to this other person. Unless someone communicates, this is what I want, this leaves room for misinterpretations and future headbutting, right? So don't expect other people to raise your mind, and using those I feel because statements. So I feel blank because blank, right? So then we move into the A of the D.E.A.R.M.A.N, which is to assert. So assert what you need. Simply say what you need. Ask for what you need, right? You may think others know what you want, but if you don't say it, you possibly won't get it. So don't use terms like maybe, possibly, I don't know. Like you don't want to give the yeah, I'm okay. It's fine. You want to be able to say this is what I need out of this situation. And then we do this lovely thing of reinforcing. So the R in D.E.A.R.M.A.N stands for reinforce. So you're reinforcing the behavior and you're rewarding those who respond well. A simple thank you or I'm really happy you took some time to have this conversation or talk with me, right? Validating them for being there. Conversations are sometimes difficult for everyone. So we want to say thanks for having this conversation with me. Thanks for showing up for me today. Thank you for being a partner, parent, friend. Thank you for allowing me to communicate. So you want to reinforce that I'm appreciative that you're even taking the time to have this communication with me. Right? Then we're using this lovely thing called mindfulness. So the M in D.E.A.R.M.A.N stands for mindful. Why do we use mindfulness? Like we talked about. So when your presence is out of the present moment and you drift, all of a sudden you can get caught on thoughts that are completely not relevant to the communication in this situation. So we're going to mindfully, if you drift off topic or you go into storytelling, or you go into criticizing or something like that, where all of a sudden a memory comes up and you're communicating that memory that is not necessarily going to help the conversation, you're going to mindfully bring yourself back to the conversation at hand. You're going to try not to get swept away by your emotions or desires to engage in an argument or to be right. If you lose focus, it's okay. Just let go of the judgment and return to the topic. Something along the lines of, it appears I've gotten off track. Let's go back to the original conversation. My brain just took a detour for a second. Totally okay and acceptable to say that. Then we do the appear. Appear confident and secure. Notice your body language, your posture, your tone of voice, making eye contact. Be authentic and genuine, but not aggressive or submissive. All humans are equal, right? So the big cue about this is same level. So if you're having the conversation and both people should be seated, if you're having it standing, both people should be standing. You want to be posturing in a relaxed position rather than posturing forward. If you're posturing forward, that can be a little bit more aggressive. If you're posturing back, it can seem a little bit more relaxed. You're not there to judge. But when people start getting like this, it can seem like an attacking motion. So we want to take those notices of the cues that are happening in the body. Then the N stands for negotiate, right? So negotiate the terms and make it a win-win situation so that both people can walk away happy. There's always a way to find a win-win. So you can't always get your way every time, and neither can they. But see if you can reach an agreement that both of you guys like. Right, so then we're going to go into a nice little example of D.E.A.R.M.A.N. So the D. So the situation that arose is this individual is living with their partner, and they recognize their partner is not doing their share of the work in the household. So they're running around, going to work. Both people are working. Both people are trying to maintain the household, and one of them feels like the other stuff is just not getting done, and that their partner's responsibilities is supposed to be something like putting the dishes away. So the D, the details. I noticed you left the dishes in the sink. Facts. E, emotions. I feel disrespected because you agreed this would be your responsibility. I feel inconvenienced because if you don't do them, I will, and that takes away from my time. Stating the emotions. A, asserting what they need. I need you to do the dishes before I come home. R, and this is the reinforcing. I am really happy you spoke with me about this. I feel so much better now that you let me express myself. M, mindful. I realize I said something offensive. I apologize. Can we get back to the topic? A, I am seated with the individual. We are both at the same eye level, and I have a tender tone, right? So this is how they're explaining it. And then N for negotiations. They say, I know some days you'll be home from work late. I can understand if on those rare occasions the dishes aren't done, right? So they're negotiating. I understand you can't be perfect. The dishes aren't always going to be done, but can you mindfully do them more? So we want to see where we can start developing this communication pattern, right? So we're going to describe, right? Facts only. We're going to go to the emotions. We're going to assert ourselves. We are going to reinforce. We are going to be mindful, right? You are going to watch on your appearance, and then you're going to negotiate. So keeping that in mind, and eventually everyone will get it down. But for the time being, everyone just remember, describe, express, assert, reinforce, mindful, appear, negotiate. And one more time, describe, express, assert, reinforce, mindful, appear, negotiate. So describe the facts, express, I statements because, assert your needs, I need, reinforce, I thank you for being here, mindful, bring it back. Present moment. Appear confident, not postured forward, leaning back, relaxed, tender. Negotiate, compromise, compassion, right? So when I'm saying that fast and I'm saying that in a manner, because that's how quickly it's going to start working for you. The more you start practicing doing this, the easier it's going to get in time. So for the group assignment, right, what we are going to do is write your own example. So I want everyone, right, to describe a time or situation which a D.E.A.R.M.A.N could have been useful, right? That's part of the homework. Then your turn is going to be to go out this week and practice this strategy with someone in your household, in your school, in your environment, wherever it is. But also, everyone is going to be paired up with a group member, and you are going to be assigned a partner. And you and your partner are going to pick a topic that has happened recently in your lives, and each of you is going to play the countering party. So if you had a difficult situation with a mother, then what you're going to do is you're going to play yourself, the other person's going to play the mom, right? If you're having a difficult conversation or situation recently with a partner, you're going to play yourself, and your partner is going to play your partner. Right? If you had a difficult situation with a kid, right? You're going to play yourself, they're going to play the kid. So, and then we're going to reverse it. They're going to switch roles to whatever situation they've had recently, and they're going to practice how to express it. Now, how can we do this without partners, right? So when in the real world, these situations happen, you can still prepare yourself, right? But here's the good news. Once you're friends with these group members, hopefully you guys are going to keep in contact, right? The beautiful thing about the Trillion app is no one ever has to exchange phone numbers. You can call each other on Wi-Fi right through the app. No one even has to know each other's real names. So it gives you this element of being able to practice no matter what. And there's plenty of other communication skills we're going to get into. But for now, we want to focus on D.E.A.R.M.A.N and how to have effective communication with others. So I give you guys the floor to start practicing.